Hello and welcome on into the George on Tap Daily Show. What's on tap? As we like to say, on tap, on tap, on tap. All right, guys. Great weekend of college football. And before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Underdog. Use promo code on tap, and you can get up to a 50% bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000 in the Gimme Play of a Week for first-time depositors only. And that is Travis Kelce. Yes, Travis Kelce, just over a half a yard. But you have to use promo code on tap to actually use that. I'm just showing you guys here what it looks like. This is the Underdog on our betting show. We used the Travis Kelce half a yard combined with Derrick Henry 73.5 rushing yards and receiving yards higher, and Lamar Jackson 219.5 passing yards lower. And you can get up to a 50% bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So make sure you use promo code on tap, and you can do that. All right. College football first weekend was a lot of fun. There's two teams to me that really stood out because they are so back. Yeah, you can say Notre Dame's back, but Notre Dame's never really been gone. Notre Dame is now ranked in the top 5 in the new AP poll. We're going to go through the new AP poll here in a second, and we'll talk about the two teams that are back. You got Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. But the two teams that I want to highlight that are back, and I mean, that graphic was not needed by ESPN right there, is number 12 Miami and number 13 USC, ironically ranked right next to each other. Actually, let's show you guys that screen here. They're ranked right next to each other, number 12 and number 13, USC and Miami. And well, I guess right now, if the playoffs were to start, USC would be on the outside looking in, and Miami would be in the inside looking at the last seed. But this could change over time because both teams are back. Both teams' swagger is back. Let's start off with Miami. They ran all over an SEC team in Florida. They made Florida look horrible. They made Florida look bad. It was an absolute masterclass by Mario Cristobal and company. The U swagger has always been the thing that makes them the most electric and fun team to follow. I'm not a Miami fan, but I lived in Miami for a while, and I know that swagger of the U. The Miami Hurricane fans are absolutely huge on the swagger, huge on the ability to, fill out stadiums and be primetime. And they went to Florida, and even after the game, the players in Miami went up to the recruits who were visiting Florida and told them, don't come to school here, you come to the U. Like the swagger. And then USC on the other side, same thing. They went and played LSU in Las Vegas, another SEC school. And I know USC is closer to Vegas. There was probably a little bit more of USC fans than LSU fans, but LSU fans travel, and LSU is a big, big, big brand. And USC dominated. All those people. They wanted to say Lincoln Riley can't coach. Nah, the dude can coach. They look buttoned up. They had no preseason. They don't do inter squad like the NFL. They came in and looked so sharp against LSU. So sharp. And that's because of Lincoln Riley. That goes right to the coaching. He had them prepared. They came in and they kicked some butt. Good for USC. And when USC and Miami are humming, it's always, always a good thing for college football. And then on the other side, LSU. Just want to talk about LSU now. That's all the way ranked now at 18th, which, by the way, these rankings, I'm a University of Washington fan, like being 20th. This is ridiculous. They definitely should be in the top 25. Clemson does not look like a top 25 team. The thing here with LSU is this is like multiple times now we've seen a Brian Kelly team look a little sloppy at the beginning of a season. The preparation might just not be there at the beginning of a season by Brian Kelly. He looked pissed after the game, but all signs point to him. Miami's back. USC's back. And that, my friends, is really good for college football. All right, I want to talk about what's on tap, and that's Patrick Mahomes saying that that his friend, Travis Kelce, who's dating someone named Taylor Swift, I'm sure you've heard of her, he said that Taylor Swift is drawing plays up for the team, and the team might actually use one of the plays. Absurd, maybe. Fun, absolutely. But man, the Chiefs are having fun. And here's the thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the team that most resembles an NBA team. They have the superstars, they have the high flying, they have the personalities, they have the drama with like the Taylor Swift and all this. And Patrick Mahomes really said that. Now, will they actually use that play? I have no idea. But we've seen Patrick Mahomes with the dazzle, the behind the back passes. This is really fun. And this team is trying to do something historical right now. And that's win 3 in a row, something that's never happened in the history of the NFL. And if it does happen and they actually use it, shake it off, Taylor Swift play, wow. There's not much to say there, but the Kansas City Chiefs, to me, it is just absurd how fun they are. They're the best thing for the NFL. And a lot of people try to say that dynasties and dominance is not good for sports, but I disagree. They're the villain, but not really. They're also loved. They're good for prime time. They're good for entertainment. They're good for the sport. There's nothing about USC football that I personally don't like. I'm sorry, USC football. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. That was the last segment. Kansas City Chiefs football, I don't like. I want to watch them. Now, sure, I might be rooting against them. I'm not a Chiefs fan. But when you hear things like we're going to use a Taylor Swift play, these guys are having fun. Andy Reid is the type of coach that lets their players have personalities. It's the new way of football. It's not the Bill Belichick way where you're not even allowed to talk to anyone or have a good time. The Chiefs are fun, and that's what the NFL needs. A lot of people call the NFL the no fun league. Well, the Chiefs, they laugh at that because they're all about having a good time. All right, last but not least, what's on tap? Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has now been flagrant fouled 17% of all flagrant fouls in the NBA. And 80% of the flagrant fouls the Chicago Sky have committed have been against Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark it's rare, right? We're talking about a like formative athlete, someone who has grown the game, someone who the game should embrace. We've seen the former players be jealous. We've seen the media, some people not liking the attention she receives. We've seen players physically try to enforce on her, like she's Michael Jordan versus the bad boy Pistons. And she just keeps on doing well. She's been on fire once the Olympics ended which, by the way, another thing, she wasn't on the Olympics. We've just seen her transcend. She'd be the best, literally the best amount of viewership the WNBA's ever had is Caitlin Clark games. The best viewership women's basketball's ever had is Caitlin Clark games. Why do we continually push back on her? It's because there's jealousy, there's envy, and people just don't like to see in a predominantly, sport that's not dominated by white people. She's dominating. And is there some race involved? Yes, there is some race involved. Is there some jealousy involved? Yes. It's a combination of things. I'm not saying that people are necessarily just sitting there being racist, but there is some sort of race involvement on here. And it sucks, but that's the truth. And Caitlin Clark is handling it with grace, handling it with class, and growing the game for women. The game's growing. Girls around the country are buying Caitlin Clark jerseys. They'll be buying Caitlin Clark shoes. They'll be watching her. They'll get their dad to sit next to them, put his arm on their shoulder, and watch women's basketball with their kids. And that's the best thing that's ever happened to the women's basketball game. And instead of embracing it, instead of putting our arms around Caitlin Clark, a lot of us do. There's pushback, there's jealousy, there's envy, there's hate. And there's no room for that. Grow the game, embrace Caitlin Clark, because it's going to make a lot of people and a lot of women a lot of money. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been the What's on Tap, George on Tap show. Thank you for watching. As always, brought to you by Underdog. Use promo code on tap, and you can get up to a 50% bonus on your first deposit, up to 1,000 US dollars. It's a really great app to use if you want to bet on sports. So make sure you use it and use our promo code to receive some exclusive offers. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.